Hey everybody, welcome back to All Fiction is Fantasy. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today we are going to be taking a look at the Lair of Ancient Dreams, written by Asa Drake and published in 1982. Let's read a bit of the synopsis on the back of the book here. A sacred journey into the nether realms of heart and mind. In the blackest night of the darkest century, Lamashtu, the demoness, has branded Kaisha, an ancient accused witch, and Vida, a soldier priest of the Inquisition. She wants them. She will destroy them. Irresistibly drawn by her diabolical charm, Kaisha and Vida set out for Hecate's Horn, the she-thing's secret lair high in the Alps. So the Lair of Ancient Dreams is a tale of romance, of religious persecution, of ancient gods, the Necronomicon, and reincarnation, set against the backdrop of 16th century northern Italy, all with a strong sword and sorcery vibe and powerful characterizations. It is the tale of Vida, a warrior priest, who has been tainted by the mark of the demoness Lamashtu, one of the elder gods who came to the earth eons ago. Think kind of like Lovecraftian mythos stuff. Vida is on a quest to rid himself of the demon's mark, and he is guided to his final destination by a woman, Kaisha, who has been accused of witchcraft and who has escaped the torture and abuse of the Inquisition. Religious persecution is a very strong theme in this book, and I think that theme is handled expertly by the author, Asa Drake. Vida and Kaisha find themselves inexplicably drawn towards one another. Vida was once a torturer for the Inquisition. He did terrible things to the women that they brought in, accused of being witches. And Kaisha was a victim of the kind of abuse he would give out. Why should she love him? Why should he trust her? Well, we find out that that's because they were the reincarnation of two lovers from the 35th century BC. Vida was once a man named Martu, and Kaisha was once a woman named Kunina. And this ancient reincarnation of this couple also has ties to the demoness Lamashtu. Their quest leads them to the peak of the Matterhorn and into the lair of the demoness herself. So overall, the Lair of the Ancient Dreams is very good. It reminded me a lot of a book I have covered on the Sword Sorcery Saga before, and that is Frost, Flower, and Thorn. But I like this book a lot more. There is more of a sense of a quest and more of a sense of a journey, and I love a good questing journey in a work of sword and sorcery. Asa Drake also writes great female characters that are complex and powerful. It's really tough to pigeonhole this book into a single genre, but I made the executive decision as the one and only employee of All Fiction is Fantasy to classify this as a work of sword and sorcery, and that's mainly because of its vibe. While it contains elements of romance, of horror, and of historical fiction, it is still about a single man and a single woman on a quest not to save the world or anything heroic like that, but simply to save their own skins. Drake does a fantastic job of introducing more mature elements such as the subjects of sex and romantic love without the novel ever feeling like a cheesy romance novel, while he also handles the topics of rape and the torture of women at the hands of the Inquisition for being accused of witches with maturity. None of the scandalous moments ever feel like they are there to tantalize or to entertain. Unfortunately, I do think that the second act kind of spins its wheels a little bit, even though the book is relatively short at only about 230 pages. Probably 30 pages probably could have been cut from the second act to just make the book have a quicker pace and of more immediate sense of tension. Before starting the Sword and Sorcery Saga for the Dungeon Dive, my other channel, I was not aware of Asa Drake. And he has quickly become one of my favorite authors. We have already taken a look at Warrior Witch of Hell. That is in the Sword and Sorcery Supercut. Amazing sword and sorcery novel. Reminds me of like old school kind of Masters of the Universe. Just incredible. And so I'm going to be prioritizing the remaining 2 books of that series, Beasts of Hell and Death Riders of Hell. I will also be reading his vampire romance called Crimson Kisses, along with a book that I just ordered called I, Dracula, that should be coming in soon. And then we will also be taking a look at a trilogy he wrote under his original name, C. Dean Anderson. And he wrote it's called the Texas Horror Trilogy, I believe. And one of the books is called Fiend. One of the books is called Torture Tomb. And the third book in the series, I think it's the second book in the series. I think this is 1 and 3, something like that. Their thematic trilogy is called Raw Pain Rex. And that's coming in as well. Both of these sound pretty cool, especially Fiend. Fiend, believe in evil. The Dyson children needed to be punished. Daddy took care of them permanently. Now he's come to Dallas's biggest comic book convention to continue his bloody work. So many bad children, so little time. Believe in fear. She was Toxique, the ultimate comic book avenger. She was born in the vivid imagination of one lonely boy. Tonight, he is going to drive her out of his mind and into the world of unspeakable violence. Believe in hell. 2 forces are about to collide. One is good, one is evil, both driven by blood and vengeance. Both are unstoppable. Believe. Yeah, that's how you write at the back of a book. That makes me want to read this. But Lair of Ancient Dreams, I highly recommend this book, especially if you are looking for something that has that sword and sorcery vibe. It has elements of Lovecraftian mythos with these ancient elder gods that have come to Earth. It definitely revolves around the Necronomicon, but in here they call it the Book of the Mad Arab. But you're looking for something that has some elements of historical fiction or some elements of romance, some elements that we don't often find in works of sword and sorcery. I highly recommend The Lair of Ancient Dreams for that. It is well written. It is super entertaining. Just know that towards the middle, it does spin its wheels a little bit, but push through because it just continuously gets better after that. Sorry guys, well I hope you enjoyed this look at The Lair of Ancient Dreams by Asa Drake. We will talk to you later. Bye bye.